Hello everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm from the United States. And today we're going to talk about the history of butter. So, as an American, I love me some butter. I like it on popcorn, I like it on toast, I like it on pasta. Americans love their butter. So, I know that Americans and Westerners and Europeans, we eat a lot of butter, but where exactly did it come from? And when you think about it, it's kind of a weird idea, right? It's like, oh, let's take this milk that's been sitting around and just churning, stirring around for a while, and maybe we should eat it? I guess the first person who tried butter was probably very brave, because as some of you may know, eating milk that's been sitting outside for a long time is actually not that safe. It can make you very sick. So yeah, it's kind of lucky that we were able to discover butter, and now we can enjoy it on all of our favorite foods. So today we're going to learn about the history of butter and how it came to be so popular in Europe and around the world. All right, are you ready? Let's go! Butter is a dairy product made from churning milk or cream. It is used as a spread, condiment, and ingredient in many recipes. So this word churning means to stir or to shake some kind of liquid usually. So if you imagine back in the day, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but there are videos online, maybe you can check it out, look up churning butter. So basically people take milk or cream from a cow, they would put it in a wooden bowl or like a small barrel, and then they would take a stick which they put inside of the barrel, and they would pull it up and down and move it all around so that the milk inside would move like this, and then eventually, slowly, it solidified and turned into butter. So yeah, so if you take milk or cream and you shake it for long enough, it will turn into butter, just like this. You can technically make butter in your house or at home, but it takes a really, really long time, so I don't recommend it because you can just buy it at the store and that's perfectly fine, and it might be better quality as well. So butter is used as a spread. You can see here, he's peeling it off. He's probably gonna spread it on some toast. Butter is also used as a condiment. So a condiment, it means like a sauce or something that you put on top of something. Like, for instance, a hot dog or pasta. So for instance, the most classic condiments that Americans think of is probably ketchup and mustard, but you can also use butter as a condiment. I wouldn't use it on a hot dog, but maybe you could use it on something else. So butter is used as a spread, a condiment, and an ingredient in many recipes. So if any of you like pasta or cake or cookies or any kind of baked good, chances are very, very high that one of the ingredients, one of the things that went into the food was used in the recipe. Some experts believe that ancient nomadic people discovered butter by accident while traveling in long distances with sacks containing milk attached to their pack animals. So if you think about it, back in the day, there were no supermarkets. No one would make your butter for you, and no one even really knew what butter was. So how would they even discover what butter is if, like I said earlier, churning butter using a barrel and a stick, it takes a really, really long time. Probably no one would have thought to do that by themselves, right? Well, back in the day, people were nomadic. That means nomadic people, they don't stay in one place for a long time. They're constantly moving around. So nomadic people, usually they would ride on a pack animal like a horse or a camel, and the animals would carry their things because humans are weak compared to other animals. They can only carry so much. So the animals would carry all of their items, and that included food, that included water, that included clothes, lots of other types of items. So especially in Europe, a lot of people drink milk. So they probably put some milk in a pouch and put it on their camel or their horse, and because the horse, it doesn't walk smooth, it's not like a car, right? So it kind of walks like this. So naturally, the milk inside of the sack on the horse starts to shake around, right? So it's kind of like a natural way of churning butter. So I guess probably someone looked into the sack, they wanted some milk, they're like, what is this? And they tried it, and they liked it, and that's how we discovered butter. Probably. We're actually not super sure, but some experts believe that ancient nomadic people did this. So, as I said, the constant movement would churn the milk, thus creating butter. So if you look here, you can see that this horse or pony, it's carrying some sacks on its back. So this is just like how people used to travel with their pack animals back in the day. And so the stuff that's in here, it would probably shake around a little bit like this, naturally churning the milk and creating butter. The earliest probable evidence of butter formation was found on pottery with high amounts of milk fats from Turkey dating back to 6,500 BC. So people have been eating butter for a super long time, apparently. And people know this because they found some pottery, which you can see right here, it's like ceramics or toljagi, from Turkey. And it's all the way back from 6,500 BC. So that's almost 9,000 years ago. So humans have been eating butter for at least 9,000 years. That's pretty remarkable. And people know that because they were able to find traces of milk fat, the thing that comprises butter or makes up butter, on these ancient ceramics from Turkey from 9,000 years ago. Due to lactose intolerance being a common issue, drinking raw milk was very unlikely. So they discovered these pieces of pottery that had milk fats on them. So how do they know that it wasn't just milk on the pottery? Maybe people were just drinking milk. That's totally normal activity, especially for people in that part of the world as well as Europe. But actually, a lot of people, when they drink milk directly, especially when it's raw milk, it has not been pasteurized, the germs inside haven't been killed. If you just drink milk, some people get really sick. And actually, there's a lot of evidence that 2/3 of adults in the world, they can't digest milk. So actually, technically, I'm also lactose intolerant. Most people in East Asia are also lactose intolerant because milk was not traditionally a part of their diet. So usually, when you drink milk, usually it's for babies, right? So most human beings, they stop drinking milk when they're no longer babies. So adults, typically, they don't really need the ability to digest milk. I mean, nowadays there's cheese, there's ice cream, there's milk tea, there's lots of things with milk in them, but that was not always the case. That's actually a very, very recent phenomenon happening in probably the last, I want to say 20 to 30 years. I think a lot of milk products have become popular around the world. So, as I said, because so many people, when they drink milk, especially raw milk, they get sick. So it's pretty unlikely that back in Turkey 9,000 years ago, they were just drinking milk from these pottery dishes. Instead, the milk fats were most likely a result of creating products like cheese and butter. So a lot of people who cannot digest milk, they can actually still eat things like butter and cheese. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is for this, but for some reason, these foods are a little bit easier to digest. And I really, really like cheese and butter, so I'm very, very happy for this fact as a lactose intolerant person. So because so many people are lactose intolerant, it's likely that the traces of milk fat found on these Turkish pieces of pottery, they're probably not milk, but milk products or dairy products such as cheese or butter. As for concrete evidence, a Sumerian tablet from ancient Mesopotamia dating back to 2500 BC displays the production of butter. So Mesopotamia, it's actually the oldest civilization on Earth. So Mesopotamia, it means the land between two rivers, and it's located in modern-day Iraq. And they were the first civilization to use writing. And so that writing system was called a Sumerian tablet. So they used this originally just for numbers so that they could keep track of trade, and then it turned into a full-fledged language. So if you look here, you can see that this Sumerian tablet, which got ancient pictures on it, there are actually people making butter. So we know for a fact that at least, at minimum, by 2500 BC in Mesopotamia, people were definitely eating butter because they were, and apparently it was important enough that they would draw these pictures on these stone tablets, because those were not easy to make. It's not like paper and pencil. They had to chisel it out with a chisel, and it's made out of rock. So it must have been semi-important for them to make a record of it on these tablets. Earlier forms of butter were made from goat or sheep milk, as cows would not be domesticated until 1,000 more years. So usually when we think of milk, so the word for milk in Korean is literally uyu. So u, that means cow, right? And then yu actually means, it's the more technical term for milk. So like mother's milk would be mo yu, because mo means mother, yu means milk. But back in the day, people didn't drink uyu, they drank sheep's milk or goat's milk, which I believe it might be translated as yangyu. I'm not sure. You can correct me in the comment section below. But actually, you can still buy products made from goat or sheep milk today. It's very, very common to eat this in parts of Europe as well as parts of the Mediterranean and the Middle East. It's very tasty. It's definitely very different from butter or cheese made from cow's milk, but I think you should try it if you ever get the chance. While the exact date remains unknown, historians unanimously agree that butter has existed for roughly 10,000 years. So, like so many other things in history, it's really, really hard to pin down exactly when something started, because a lot of the resources and records have been lost to history because they've disintegrated or just they were lost. So we don't know the exact date or location that people started eating butter, but historians unanimously agree. So all of them think the same thing, that butter has existed for roughly 10,000 years. So that's a pretty long time when you think about it. And yeah, I'm very grateful that we've been able to have so many innovations of the use of butter in these last 10,000 years. I love cookies, I love cake, I love all those things, and all those things need butter. So we can thank our ancestors from ancient Sumeria or Mesopotamia or Turkey for this wonderful culinary invention. All right, everybody, that is all for today. Today we learned about the history of butter. If you have any ideas for future videos or articles that we can write, you can let us know in the comment section below. I'm very happy to be making this video for you guys, and I will see you again next week. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.